By now, it's widely known that on release, Marvel's Avengers was a dumpster fire full of bugs and other issues that made the game borderline unplayable. And we should have seen this coming from a mile away. Revealed at E3 2019, Marvel's Avengers seemed to be a smash hit among Marvel fans and Square Enix fans alike. And soon after the 14-minute presentation, the game was up for pre-order, and yes, I was one of those people to order the game. A few months go by, and there had been no further updates apart from the first mission on the sequence on the bridge, otherwise known as A-Day. Immediately, people started to question what is the rest of the game going to look like, and received no answer apart from the promises made back in the showcase at E3. The day had arrived, and fans were excited to play the game for the first time, but unfortunately, we were met with continuous issues with enemies phasing out of the map, the game camera would get stuck in God knows where, and the game crashes pretty much constantly, as well as the pretty much empty promises for character implementations. Having pre-ordered the game, I felt obligated to complete the story missions as well as the following DLC, but unfortunately after the Black Panther release, there was no other reason for me to play the game, at all. Now pretty much 2 years later I've returned to the game, but this time my brother will tag along. At first I was hesitant about the quality of the game, and yes, there are a few bugs here and there, but it's playable. It is playable. The characters don't break out of nowhere anymore, and matchmaking has been semi-fixed after its latest release this month in August. As of now, nothing much has changed. The story is the same as before, with a few minor parts of storytelling through quest lines. I found myself talking to Nick Fury out of nowhere, which was weird, because last time I saw him he was stuck in a bubble in the future wasteland. So it was strange that they didn't give him a whole chapter like the Hawkeye, the Kate Bishop, and the Black Panther storylines. I also found that the last two DLC characters for PlayStation, Spider-Man and Mighty Thor, didn't have their own storyline. Instead it was explained in a quest line for both of them. I believe that these characters should get the same treatment as previous characters, but at least they're in the game. While Jane Foster Thor has arrived in the game, I have an issue on how they're tackling the legacy characters. If you're confused what legacy characters are, there are characters that come after a main character is established in the comic books like Batman and Nightwing, and as well as Clint Barton and Kate Bishop. A few of the DLC characters have been pretty much copies of one another or any of the previous members of the Avengers. For example, Mighty Thor has the exact same abilities and movement as Thor. And same goes with Hawkeye and Hawkeye as well, with their pretty much same attacks with... I'll give them credit that they have different abilities, but it's still... I believe they should be able to have different movement sets in combat. Apart from these few nitpicks, the game has stayed pretty much the same, but with a few quality of life updates, fixing matchmaking and progression of characters. So now, here's my final rating.